Class is in session, hooray for learning! Welcome, come in, sit down! You are sitting down. Excellent! Today we've got a nice lesson, and I can see by all of you in those stalls that you're waiting for knowledge. I'm going to show you how to be Expert Mission 20. I've created a build and a strategy that works quite well, in that most of the time I pass this mission. So, let's get started. And first we'll go over the stat points. First, for the QQ Bang, it's a direct mirror of Beerus' clothing, giving 5 in Ki, Stamina, and Ki Blast supers. The Super Soul is her, which boosts the amount of Ki you regain with your charge skills by a dramatic amount, and the Limit Burst gives you auto health and stamina recovery. Now, for the attribute points, 125 will go into your Ki Blast supers for maximum damage, 84 into stamina for 2 extra bars, 84 will go into your Ki for 2 extra bars, and the rest you will dump into your health. Next is the super moves. Your super moves for this expert mission will be Maximum Charge, Innocence Bullet, Guard Breaker, Super Guard. Your Woken skill will be Golden Form. Your only ultimate will be Emperor's Death Beam. And your evasive will be Vanisher Guard. Expert Mission 20, Harbinger of Doom. Arguably and quite honestly the most difficult of all expert missions. Your first enemy will be Android 13. Difficulty level 3 out of 5 Dragon Balls. His strengths: high defense, super armor, teleporting, auto dodge, and rage saucer. As soon as he enters with the key that you've used, you want to try and catch him in your Innocence Bullet to poison him. This will make his auto dodge and super armor much less useful. It will disappear a lot quicker. From there on, just use your remaining key to use an Emperor's Death Beam, and just keep spamming it with a 9 key bar Emperor's Death Beam every single time. You want to use your normal Death Beam, your charge Ki Blast, with a Frieza race character in Golden Form if he gets too close, and if he does get too close, or if he manages to teleport and he uses that marbling drop, it will hit you much more likely as opposed to if you're further away. So spam your Emperor's Death Beam from a distance and make sure he doesn't get too close. If he gets aggressive towards you, it'll make sure that you have more time to react as well if he actually does then go for you instead of the other time patrollers. But keep using your Emperor's Death Beam, and when he uses Rage Saucer, there's a slight moment at the end of each of the 3 combos where he's vulnerable, where you can hit him with a normal Death Beam and knock him out of the move. Otherwise, just use your evasive or use God Breaker. Once you've defeated him, get your stamina back and charge up as much Ki as possible. The next opponent, Dabura. Difficulty rating 5 out of 5 Dragon Balls. Strengths: teleporting, super armor, Peerless Storm, marbling drop, high defense, and auto dodge. Dabura is the hardest person to beat in this entire mission. He has the highest defense. He's the most annoying aggressive character. So get straight away in with that Innocence Bullet and then try and get him poisoned so that his super armor is much less effective and wears away quicker. There is no workaround for getting his massive amounts of defense down, so just keep spamming that Emperor's Death Beam. Make sure it's a 9 key bar Emperor's Death Beam because it actually helps prevent him from attacking, and providing the first attack hits or you actually manage to hit him, even if he does snap around and teleport around like that, you will just then snap around and keep attacking in that direction. So providing you don't get caught in one of his attacks while you're charging up or something like you've just seen on screen, then you will be okay, and just keep your distance, make sure he doesn't get too close, make sure you always have at least 1 key bar, and you can do that with the regen from using your charge Ki Blast in Golden Form. You don't want to get caught in a Peerless Storm without any stamina. Just keep spamming your Emperor's Death Beam over and over and over. You'll take about half of his health bar every single time, and with your Super Soul you'll recover your Ki ridiculously quickly. So just keep spamming it until he's on low enough health that you can get him with one last final ultimate attack. When he's using his super villain moves, you want to try and go into Super Guard, or if you're too late then you want to just panic and use your evasive, which is Vanisher Guard. When he comes out of Peerless Storm, there's a slight moment where he's vulnerable and standing still. You can hit him with a charge Ki Blast. Once Dabura is defeated, it's time to regain your stamina and as much Ki as possible. The next enemy is Buuhan. Difficulty rating 3 out of 5 Dragon Balls. Strengths: high health, super armor, aggressive, and strong combos. When Buuhan enters the match, you will notice he has a ridiculous amount of health, but don't worry, his defense is normal. Poison him as normal to get rid of his super armor, and then just spam your Emperor's Death Beam. But be very wary as he is more likely to use his supervillain moves. He does use Marbling Drop quite a lot, but it actually is one of the worst variations of Marbling Drop. Doesn't really do anything, and you have to be really careless to get caught in it. So just keep spamming your moves and keep him at a distance so that you don't get caught in Marbling Drop. Just keep spamming your moves, and eventually when he's on 1.5 health bars, he will blast you away into another arena and you'll have to fight other opponents. But don't worry, these opponents are normal. Their defense might even be lower than normal, judging by how quickly you can defeat them, and you can just team up on them with the other time controllers. If you come across Fat Boo, that's great, that's the very last one, but if not, you have to go through various other stages to get to that last one. So just keep defeating all the opponents. As soon as you get to Namek, fly over to the village to the left, because that's where Super Boo spawns in, and you want to be ready for him for an Emperor's Death Beam to get rid of him as quickly as possible. If he's not locked onto you, you can pretty much freely use this, and all of the other time patrols will also spam their ultimates. He'll be gone in no time. Once the portal opens, charge up as much ki as you'd like, maybe not full, you don't need it, and go through the portal again because you'll be fighting the last opponent, which is Majin Buu. He spawns in right around the place where you spawn in, so you don't have to move anywhere. As soon as he comes in, spam your Emperor's Death Beam and hope you get him in one shot. If not, he'll probably get stamina broken with the amount of hits he's about to take from all the other people. He might use his Candy Beam, which will kind of dent your plans, but if not, you will probably always just get him in one ultimate. When the next portal opens, you're about to go and fight Buuhan one more time, so charge up all your ki, lock on, and even though his super armor returns because he's not poisoned, spam your ultimate and just hope that you get him in one hit because that will make it a lot easier. All the other time patrols will do the same. The final enemy, Fused Zamasu. Difficulty rating: 4 out of 5 Dragon Balls. Strengths: high health, super armor, Peeler Storm, strong combos. Fused Zamasu is your final enemy to defeat. You want to make sure you try and poison him because he does have super armor just like the other ones. You want to make sure that it's easy to knock him round. You have to resist the temptation to go straight into spamming your ultimates because it's time to activate your limit burst to recover all of your allies' health and your own. He's going to be spamming his Peeler Storm over and over and over and over again. So my advice for this part of the mission is different than the rest of it. You want to spam your normal Death Beam, keep your full ki, use Super Guard whenever he uses Peeler Storm and revive every single ally that gets downed. Knock his health away gradually with your Death Beam because his health is huge, but his defense is normal, so you'll do lots of damage with just that. And because of the amount he uses his Peeler Storm, he will evade most of your Emperor's Death Beam. On this part of the mission, your team is the most important thing to take care of. Attack from a distance, push him away, guard from all of the different Peeler Storms he will be spamming, just chip him away. You've got loads of time, don't rush it. This is the last part of the mission. If your team go down and you get caught in a Peeler Storm, it's over. So just make sure that you use the available time and be smart about the last part of this mission. Once you do everything I've told you, you'll realise how much easier this mission actually can be if you play it smartly, and you have a strategy that kind of takes into account all the strengths and weaknesses of the different bosses. You can use your evasive if he gets too close, and use Godbreaker to finish him off because it will do a lot of damage. And that's how to defeat Expert Mission 20, Harbinger of Doom. And it's tip time! When using Emperor's Death Beam on Fused Zamasu, if he does go into Peeler Storm, you might actually collide with one of the Peeler Storms, knocking you up, giving you a moment to activate your evasive, saving you from damage, but it's not always the case. Using Super Guard to protect yourself from Peeler Storm is going to work, but remember that Super Guard can be a bit finicky in that if you don't hold it down long enough, you will come out of it even though you're retaining damage, and you will get hit by it if you don't hold the button down long enough and die, like that. It can happen very easily, so make sure you overdo the amount of time that you hold down Super Guard for, because trust me, doing it once is a disaster and you have to restart the mission. Talking about Dabura now, his Marbling Drop is ridiculous. It's as bad as Golden Frieza's. If you're in anywhere near the vicinity, use your evasive as soon as possible. Most likely he'll one-shot the entire team with this, so making sure you're not down is vital for continuing the mission. And finally, with Buuhan, if he uses the move that knocks you into the other map to fight the other people and you're the only one up, you'll have to fight Buuhan one-on-one. You'll start very close to him. The chances of you clutching this are microscopic. I'd just restart the mission. But this is my guide on how to beat Expert Mission 20. I've got more Expert Mission guides coming, but until then, stay tuned for the next exciting episode of AxoniusRex.